Hi, my name's Shannon. I work here at Bradley's. I'm a guest on the Poor People podcast. Grape pucker, loopy vodka, and a little lemonade. We're gonna do grape Pez bombs. And some Red Bull. Voila. I'll make a little mocktail. I'm gonna do some grapefruit juice. Actually, since Red Bull's here, we'll do a splash of that and some soda water. And here's that one. I am gonna call this one Summer Smash. Sounds great.
Do you hear the buzzing mic? I think we got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to Poor People.
Welcome to Poor People.
We are here at Bradley's with Shannon.
Hello.
What's our soup of the day?
Yeah, what are we drinking?
So we've got Pez bombs. I did grape flavored. And then we have wonderful cocktails with some Tito's and cranberry and press.
Yeah.
Sounded good.
It is
Yeah.
really good. It's very refreshing right
Yeah,
now.
it's a
you.
beautiful day out. So I
Yeah.
thought, why not?
Yeah, for January, it's still really nice out.
No, really.
So, okay, wait. Actually, what does make it a press, though? Is it just soda?
Half Sprite, half soda.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's all a press is. And then what's a Tom Collins? Or
Ooh.
like a Collins. Isn't that like
That's
kind of
one
the
of
same?
those that I always have to Google because I don't make it enough.
Yeah.
That's very real. I feel like it happened to me like recently where someone was like, can I get this in press? And I'm like, I've
What?
literally never heard that. What the fuck does that mean? And of course it was a bartender and they're like, you don't know what that is?
Oh, the
Like,
worst.
God damn it. No one ever told me that one.
Why
Well,
can't you just tell me? Why do you gotta
I know.
like you don't know what that is? Just obviously, if I'm asking you what it is, I obviously don't know what it is. Can you just tell me what it
Yeah.
is so then I can make it your drink and you can go about your business?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and I love how like when bartenders that like work at other bars come into your bar and it's like they try to like one up you. They're like, oh, I'm like I would never make it this way. It's like then go make it go home, like make it somewhere else.
Or when people say like, do you know how to make this? You know, so it's kind of like, if you don't know how, I mean, it's cool to ask, but at the same time, if you're asking me how to make an orange peel,
Yeah.
yeah, I know how to make an orange
Right.
peel.
Yeah,
Right.
which orange peels are like only really common in Iowa too,
yeah,
true.
which is
Yeah.
a weird thing.
yeah. In Colorado, you know what they do? They just do orange vodka, and they have those like weird shot glasses that have the shot glass inside of the actual bomb glass that we would use, and then they put the vodka in it, and then they put the bomb, the Red Bull, whatever they have out there, Rockstar, whatever, and that's their bomb. They just call it an orange pill because they just give you orange vodka and then the Red Bull.
Also,
Crazy.
just the term bomb, I think, is like in our area thing. Like, I've
Yeah.
been out of state
Yeah.
and people are like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and a bomb is just like Red Bull in it, right?
Yeah.
In a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what makes it a bomb or
Right.
whatever. Should we do our Pez bombs?
Sure.
Or, no, it's a Pez shot because
Yeah.
it doesn't have Red Bull in it.
no, it's a Pez
No, it
bomb.
does have Red
It
Bull.
does?
Yeah.
Oh,
What all-
I was
what
like,
all's
I
in
put
it?
Red Bull in it.
What's in it?
Fully lethal.
Fully
loopy
lethal.
vodka. Loopy vodka, grape pucker, and a little bit of lemonade and Red Bull.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
This
we
is
had
like
raspberry too, but I just grabbed grape first. So.
Yeah.
this is what we always order whenever we come here is Pez
Oh,
bombs.
nice.
It's too early.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then do you want to give yours to somebody or I'll take
Oh.
two? I don't care.
I'm also not drinking the whole. I'm gonna try it. I'm not drinking the whole thing.
Okay, fine. Just give them to me. I'll take them.
Sorry. Here you go.
But I do
Well,
want to taste it.
Mike will take one. Wait, whoa.
Well, Heather.
Hold on.
Heather can have one.
Fine. All right. Well, I'll drink the rest of
Okay.
yours. then,
Cheers,
Haley.
friends.
Cheers. To Poor People.
Yeah.
People.
Finally at Bradley's.
Oh.
It tastes like
good.
Pez.
That
So,
Lucy
okay.
vodka's so good.
It's so good. Okay, so when we've made Pez bombs, we just always say like any pucker. Like you can use any pucker, right, to make it as long as it's loopy and then flavored pucker and then. But do you primarily make it with grape pucker?
Yeah, or raspberry.
Okay.
Or raspberry schnapps, I think it's supposed to be instead of pucker.
Yeah.
But
It's so good.
It is very good.
I never knew how to make a Pez bomb, so now I learned something new.
Yeah,
today.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now you can bring it back to good old that bomb bar.
Yeah. What's in a Starburst? Do we know?
Yeah.
so the strawberry starburst is the only one that I actually know. But I'm guessing it would be about the same flavor-wise for whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But vanilla vodka, watermelon pucker, and a little bit of lemonade.
Okay.
Or sour, you could probably use, but I never
Okay.
put sour in anything. I always do lemonade because
Yeah.
I just hate
Oh, really?
sour personally. But even Long Island's, I end up putting lemonade and Pepsi. Like I just don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
hate
Instead of sour.
I hate it.
Huh.
Okay.
Except for when I worked at a place where you actually make like fresh sour, then that stuff's great.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've had people come in and ask for a Starburst, and I make it up. I'm like, as long as it's pink, I don't think they're gonna notice.
That's funny because I actually did have somebody order. They were like, "Can I get a pink Starburst shot?" And I was like, "What's in it?"
Yeah.
And then they didn't know,
Yeah.
and then I felt bad because I was like,
yeah.
"I can't get you the
I've
drink
been
that
the
you want."
queen
Yeah.
of Googling, so I swear they're all in here somewhere now.
Yeah.
Speaking of googling, so Collins. This is what I said: Collins versus pressed drinks in Google. Collins drinks are cocktails made with a sweetener and a seltzer, while pressed drinks are alcohol seltzers. I don't think that's right. But Collins drinks are served in tall glasses over ice, while pressed drinks are brewed at a lower alcohol by volume.
That
So
didn't
like,
tell me anything.
yeah, Google is not super right all
I
the
think
time.
the Tom Collins is just a name for it. I think it might be like a gin and tonic.
I think it has like lime juice in it.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I think it's soda and lime juice.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like
It's
there's
like-
a splash of simple syrup or
Yeah.
something.
Something weird that like
Different.
we wouldn't really like retain.
Mm-hmm.
But then like the gimlet situation, I think
Oh, yeah.
it's like a gimlet is a vodka soda, right? And then like either or, regardless, we know what they are. We know what ingredients goes into it. But when you give me a name for something, I'm just stopped in my tracks saying,
God.
what?
Yeah.
Some shots
Yeah.
and like drinks literally sound like people make them up.
Yeah.
Like,
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a thing.
Like a
but I'm gonna
gimlet?
Google it anyways.
Like what? I don't even know what a gimlet is.
I'm pretty sure it's a vodka soda with a lime. Vodka soda with lime juice or something like that.
Just order a vodka soda with lime. Then don't give it some weird like
I
goblin
thought
name.
it was like straight vodka with splash of lime juice.
It's
God,
something.
this,
It
this
has
sounds like
alcohol
rage
related.
bait. The fact that like we don't like none of us at this table fucking know. It's like there are so many people listening that are like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You guys are employed.
it actually is 2 parts gin, 1 part lime juice, and simple syrup.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So then, yeah, it's
Okay.
nowhere near what I thought it was.
Exactly.
Point proven.
But if anybody orders a gimlet, we're just gonna make a vodka
Vodka
soda with lime.
Oh, and the Tom Collins is made with gin, lemon juice, sugar, and simple syrup with club soda.
Okay.
So I was right about.
So basically, splash of lemonade with
Mm-hmm.
club soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I looked it up, when I looked up Collins versus Press, it just showed me a bunch of sports statistics, and I was like, this is not right.
Yeah, Collins, the Tom Collins and the press are totally different.
Yeah, but I always
The
get them
press
mixed
is
up.
just like the mix to go with it.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Let's talk about you, Shannon.
Okay.
Okay. So you used to have a raccoon.
Oh yeah, I did.
Poor People Podcast is brought to you by Tipsy Cub. It's a pregame powder. It does wonders for stopping your hangovers. It is insane how well it works. We used it last night when we went to a hockey game. We had a little team meeting last night. And I felt great this morning. Haley felt great this morning.
Yep.
Anna didn't drink, so she felt great this morning. Still took Tipsy Cub, though.
took it though.
But it does such a good job of not giving you a hangover in the morning.
It's a game changer. Like
It
it, allows
really
you to
is.
go a little harder than usual.
I mean,
you
it
know?
gets you back to ruling your day.
I don't wake up and like hate myself in the morning after drinking, you know? It's not like one of those days where like you wake up after drinking and then you're like, I can't do anything today other than like drink water and sit on the couch.
So you shake it, you tear it, and then you
Okay.
dip it.
And then you dip it.
I kind of breathed in. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
there. Don't do that.
What do you think your first time trying it? We actually haven't had a guest try it yet.
It's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can kind of taste a little bit of ginger
Mhm.
in it. but it kind of reminds me of like a very straight shot of like energy drink or like one of those 5-hour energies or something.
I feel like it gives me a little energy.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of feels like I just drank a Red Bull.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any caffeine in it. Well, anyways, thank you to our sponsor, Tipsy Cub. You can use POUR20 as your coupon code and get 20% off for Tipsy Cub, all of your purchases. So POUR20, definitely use that. It's amazing. I can't recommend this stuff enough, honestly. This is where I wanted to go.
You're going to talk about that. I forgot.
Okay.
That was...
Yeah. So I've raised and released 4 raccoons in my life, and they're so cool. They
Where
really
are you finding raccoons?
So, let me start there. So, I'm from here. No, I'm just kidding. From Winterset, and I actually got my first one for my birthday as a gift. My best friend found it.
It was like a
he
baby?
was working construction, and they like had found it. The mom had died, or I don't ask details when
Right.
it comes to that. And I
When it
was
comes to
brought a
raccoons.
baby, so then I just bottle fed it, kept it on like a heating pad, took care of it, kept it in a little kennel, hung out with it all the time. Yeah, it was great. They're very cool. But my first one, actually, a girl that I used to work with, she had like safe land is what they called it, but it's like country land that's not hunted and everything else, just to give it a good chance. So I took him, his name was Boomer. Which now I have a cat named Boomer, so I don't know why I got him from my brother, so it's a whole new thing. But yeah, I name all my animals Boomer. No, I'm just kidding. And she like gave him food in the garage until like he just eventually didn't show up anymore. But he actually brought friends back with him.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So then, and yeah, I've had a couple since then. They're just cool.
Yeah.
They can be terrors. Like, there is no joke on that. They will climb into your ceiling if you have those, like, ceiling panels.
What?
Like, and it was, yeah, because we had, like, my mom's house I was living in, but I was renting it from her. But it was, like, in the basement. They could climb into the ceiling. And it was just awful because the floor panel things would start to fall. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm going to fix all of this. Like, it's time for him to go, it's they've outgrown the house.
Yeah.
They want to go outside. So
How big do they get?
they can get really big. I mean, I only would have them, I'd say like 6 to 8 months, probably. I never really kept track and like was like, your time's up. Your age has reached the limit, But it was more on their personalities because, like, I had this little girl, Daisy, and I wanted to keep her forever. Like, she got along with all my animals, like, which was probably bad on my part because my first one, I kept him separated from all the animals. But with her, I was kind of like, you're one of ours, you're one of us. So, yeah, she was a little harder to get rid of.
Yeah, I can see that. And they have thumbs too.
Yeah, they
That's
like
crazy.
to grab things.
Yeah, they
So
can
cute.
they have like straight up thumbs, and they're super smart too, right? I like raccoons.
I can tell.
I like them, but also I had like 2 like young ones living in my soffit, like outside of my house for a long time, and they were very annoying, I will say, because they would like fight in like, and you could hear it behind the walls. So I would like bang on the walls to like get them to stop, and then eventually we had them like taken out, and not like taken out.
Yeah. I don't ask questions. I don't. I've learned my lesson not to.
They were released safely, but we had them like taken out of the soffit and everything, and I don't know what kind of damage they did up there, to be honest. But again, I don't want to know either, so I'm kind of just like
very, very smelly, very smelly. And like they'll use a litter box, but they kind of want to go wherever they want to. Which luckily the basement had enough spots that were like, you just knew, and I'd just clean up after them. But it got to the point where I'm like, okay, you stink so bad. Yeah. You're gonna go outside. This is where you belong.
Do you wash them then? Like, do you have to give them baths?
You
and stuff?
can,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, they're just big babies. Like
so there was another time. So I had a couple raccoons living in my soffit, and so I caught one of them. I have like one of those cages or whatever that like it's a safe cage. It doesn't like kill them
It
or
just
anything.
shuts on them.
Yeah, it just shuts on them. And I like put it out one night, and I had been drinking. I was like, there's no chance this is gonna work. I like threw a bunch of like old marshmallows in it.
Of course, they're gonna love that.
And then the next morning I woke up and I was going to work, and like it was just sitting by my trash, the trap was. And I was like going to work, and I was like kind of hungover, and I was like starting my car, and then I looked to the left and I just see a raccoon trapped in the thing, and I was like, oh shit.
Now what?
I was like, oh, God, I'm gonna be late to work now. I gotta figure out what to do with this thing. I can't just like leave it here all day.
Yeah.
And so I just drove it like, I don't know, probably like 20 miles south or something like that, and then just let it go. And I was so scared, but I was also trying to like comfort it too, because I was like, so I had like a glove
I'm not
on.
a bad guy.
Yeah, I had like a glove on, and I was like petting it like through the cage, and it was like at first I thought it liked it, and then it just like tweaked out in the cage like
Yeah.
super bad. And I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't like it.
Probably hadn't been pet before.
Yeah.
And it was just a gloved
Trying
finger,
to
just
domesticate
like
this.
I'm your friend.
and then I like brought it out into the woods. I found like a wooded area, and I just like opened the cage, and then I was so scared it was gonna attack me. So I just like let it go and kind of like bumped the cage a little bit, and then it just like shot out into the woods, and I was like, all right, cool. See ya.
luck, buddy.
Yeah. And then after that, so that I caught that raccoon, and then I think that there were still like raccoons living in my soffit, or they like came in after that, because it was like I think I like got rid of the problem for
What's
a
a
while.
soffit?
It's like the overhang part of your house.
Oh, okay.
Like it's the metal.
Gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it like got in through my attic somehow, and then like they moved like over by my living room. So I would be like watching TV, and then I would just hear like that's literally what it sounded like.
Dude,
One
they're
more time.
like, You're really good at that.
Well, because they would like fight in my like walls basically. And I was like, dude, stop. And then eventually got them out. And so yeah, that's my experience with raccoons anyways.
Well, that's highly interesting, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think well, you would release them though. Like, so I think raising them and things like that, you were fostering them.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do that, you can actually take them to the DNR and they'll take them, and then they'll release them other places though too. And that's not a whole lot of people actually have the patience for that, because they're very mischievous.
Yeah.
And they will
They're
test your
smart.
patience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that they have thumbs, they have hands.
I know.
They have hands.
That's the craziest part.
They love popcorn. Like I literally, this little raccoon, I was crying one night because it kept jumping up on the bed and attacking my hair while I was sleeping. And I could not get it to calm down. So I literally had to put it in the kennel. And I was just like in tears because I just almost would fall asleep and then it'd come out of nowhere, and just attack my hair again. And I'm like, please just let me go to bed, you night animal. Like this is bedtime.
Yeah.
I don't know where you learned this,
So with your work schedule, how did that work out when you were bartending and things like that? Would you ever bring the raccoon to the bar?
No. So my ex
That's
at the
probably-
time was in construction working with his dad. So luckily he would just take it and go to work and take care of it. So
Okay,
I had,
okay.
it wasn't all me.
Okay.
So that was
Oh.
kind of nice.
But it like lived at your house with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Crazy.
And it was a terror. Like literally dug a hole in the couch to be in the couch. And thankfully this couch was like a $100 couch I got off
Yeah.
Craigslist anyways. But it was still one of those things where you're like, be careful if you're sitting on the couch because a raccoon might just pop up and be right next to you. You just never know.
I got a couch raccoon.
Yeah, our house was interesting at that time.
That's so fun.
So you don't have any raccoons now?
No.
Okay. And you've
No, and it's
released all of
normally in
them.
the spring, so maybe I just haven't got one yet. But I do have a baby at home, so I've not very ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't say no to one. I would just have to figure out a different process
Oh
on
my God.
Yeah.
keeping it like safe from her, or her safe from it. I mean, my daughter's pretty vicious. She's got some claws herself. So
So with you working here, where have you worked before?
So Bradley's for 5 years, and then before that, it was like 7 or 8 with Tonic or Riley Drive, because I kind of worked at multiple locations.
Yep.
That were like restaurants and just bar. So mainly Tonic, which was, well, mainly a bar. That was just, can I? Yes, I can name drop the bar.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
If there's anything you want to cut out too, just let us know and we'll cut it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But yeah, other than that, like my very first bartending job was when I was like 19 at the Roadside in Martinsdale, which is no longer open. And I originally applied there just as a server, but within like a month, they were like, we're going to put this cute little girl behind the bar. I had no business being back there. Like, I was terrified of people as it was to even be a server, let alone to be back behind a bar of like these old guys all saying like, I want a whiskey Coke, you know? And I'm like, cool. I'm going to make that. Just don't yell at
What's
me,
in that?
you know? Yeah. It was awful. It was a terrible experience.
Oh, no.
But I guess I really shouldn't say it was terrible. I just had a terrible time. Very stressful. But
So then what made you stay in the industry then instead of doing something else after that?
I was kind of doing CNA too at the time. So I was like doing that. And then I started working up in Des Moines. Where was the first spot? Probably Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, wow.
And I worked at Bravo for a little bit.
Okay.
But I was serving at those locations. And I mean, I liked it, but it was just a long drive because I was still living in Winterset at the time too.
Yeah.
So then once I started at Riley Drive and I realized how much I could make behind the bar, I quit CNA and I just quit everything. And then I was like full force bartending and got out of my shell a little bit, you know, so I wasn't so shy.
So I've made this connection before that bartenders are kind of like nurses in a way. like
You're like, nobody, you need a water now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You just had so much fun. Like you outdid your Tuesday.
exactly,
Like it's
yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's 4:00 also.
Yeah. You were here when I got here at 6 and it is now 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like it's time.
Oh man.
So with those other places, have you curated regulars that have come and followed you here?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like it's kind of funny. So growing up in Winterset, I had the nickname Peebs, and certain people that knew me before being at Bradley's will call me Peebs all the time. But people that have only met me at Brad's just call me Shannon. So it's very like, yeah.
Yeah, I've always just called you Shannon.
Yeah.
But I know your last name.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I call her Peebs. Like when you call her Peebs, everyone knows who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I mean, like
Okay.
if I were to say your name, they would know too. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's not a whole lot of Shannons, I don't think. I don't know.
no, not the
When I
ones-
see them and I'm bartending, I'm like, oh my God, we have the same name.
Yeah, not too many that I know that are bartending.
No.
But
no.
I mean, yeah, it's just Peebler, just good old Peebler. But we would you would work at Norm's though. So is Norm's affiliated with Bradley's?
Yeah. So I actually started at Norm's and then got spots at Bradley's because like Brad's doesn't just hire here. Like we hire fill-ins, but like you have to kind of find your shift and grab it, and then every week you work the same days. So like you don't have the random schedules. So it's really nice. Like I love taking vacations out of the state and country and just like going for a while. And so I could just get like my whole month covered and know that I was good. And it's just great.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love bartending for that
Yes.
whole.
I can agree with you on
Point.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
The
pick up and go.
flexibility.
Yeah, the flexibility is great. But since you guys are a ghost crew, we do the same thing at Tony C's, and
Yeah.
it's really nice.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so nice. And people, you know, we're huge advocates on being a bartender. That you can make it career, but it's you're a mom. You have a very flexible schedule. We
Yeah.
all work around things like that. So
Yeah.
if you were to need someone to cover your shift, they'd understand and they'd be there to help you. And
Yeah.
that's really cool too. So do you guys have that family connection
Yeah.
here?
Like
Okay.
there's always someone that I can probably switch with or
Yeah.
just have them cover. Like it's really great because I mean, I don't know. In Bradley's, we have so many regulars too. So aside from like the workers, like the people that come in, it's just like fluid. So it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you work anywhere else other than Bradley's?
Nope.
No?
I can pick up shifts at Tonic still, but I haven't since probably I think last Halloween was the last time I worked over there.
Okay.
But I'll get a random message, and sometimes I already work Friday and Sunday nights. And now being a mom, like picking up Saturday nights it's just a lot to do 3 nights in a row because
Yeah.
like already my sleep schedule is very messed up those days. So
Well, and the
hit or
fact
miss.
that it's a Saturday though too, and like you said, you are a mom. It's just, so what if like you had to work here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's always hard to pick up somewhere else because you
Yeah.
already have a set schedule here. But that's really cool that you can go back to your old roots and go bartend there. I bet a lot of people go there because it's star tending at the bar that you don't work at anymore. But yeah, for the night. We love that.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about you like being pregnant. Were you working here while you were pregnant the whole time?
Yeah, up until the last month, which if it wasn't up to my fiance, I would have totally kept working through, but he came in and like helped me close every single night.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he
that's
wanted a
sweet.
deadline day and he was like, there's no reason. You can barely even, like, if the cooler got too low, trying to get a Bud Light out of the bottom of the cooler was impossible,
yeah.
let alone our extra liquor shelf is like clear underneath our liquor shelf. If that makes any sense. It's like when you're like a big old basketball under your shirt trying to figure out how to get down there, you're like, now how do I get up? And it got to be a lot towards the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good because I was working 4 days a week then. So
Still a lot.
I would make
That's a
like a stack of boxes and sit on them when we were slower,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and I was like, I'm good. I put my feet up for a minute. You need something? You know, like
Just give me
everybody
5
good.
minutes.
Yeah.
But you did it though, right? Like you had
Yeah.
the mentality of like, it's okay, I'm pregnant. Like I don't need to take off any work. Like I'm going to work. Like you
Yeah.
never felt like no one asked you, like, are you sure or anything like that, or made you feel like just because you're pregnant you couldn't work or anything like that?
No, nobody that I worked with made me feel that way, but like customers would.
I was
Like
gonna
they'd be
say,
like,
did they treat you-
should you be carrying that? Someone else should do that job. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not broken.
Right,
You know, I'm
yeah.
like, and it's kind of crazy because until I came back and I wasn't pregnant anymore, I didn't realize how hard it was while I was pregnant because I was just like going through the motions. And I mean, it was a lot. I mean, your body's tired, but I mean, it was great. And normally, definitely towards the end, when you don't have to tell people you're pregnant anymore, they're just like, "Oh, when are you due?" You know, it's very different.
Yeah. Did you get like before you were like showing or anything like that? Did you get like a lot of people like asking you to do shots with them and stuff like that?
No. So on the other side, like when I worked at Tonic, you could drink while you were working, and I was very, very good at doing that. Being at Bradley's,
Not while
can't-
you were pregnant.
Yeah,
Let's just clarify that.
Yeah, no, that was 5+ years ago. I just was pregnant recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was throwing them back. So, but at Bradley's, you can't drink while you're working. So it's so nice because then people just
Yeah.
don't even ask. And if they do, like I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like 4 years sober. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, that's
and
a huge
so
accomplishment.
it's nice. And then there's some people, they're like, oh man, I bet you can't wait to have a drink, you know? And it's like, no,
No,
actually,
I
I was
don't,
sober
actually.
before the baby.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny though, because while I was pregnant is probably when I wanted to have a drink more than not because I knew I couldn't instead of not wanting to. Like you're kind of like, Jameson sounds so good right now. I don't know why. Like, what's going on with you? Like, why do you want this? But yeah, so it wasn't bad.
That's awesome.
I heard you have a band list here.
A band
We have a
list.
very extensive band list.
Oh my God,
band.
really?
So-
like
Yeah, like
Yes.
the
Okay,
band list.
not like
a band, but like you motherfucker are not allowed in here.
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
shit.
and there's very few people that have actually been only banned for like 30 days or
Okay.
3 months or
Okay.
something. But there's a lot of people that
How many?
see that orange list over there.
Oh my God.
Oh
really?
my god.
It's almost
Holy,
all-
probably like 30, 40 people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So Bradley's has been around for like 33 years.
Oh wow.
And I will say that like I know basically everybody on that list except maybe some that just clearly haven't been here in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
no.
how many have you banned?
I'd say at least probably like 6 or so. I mean, there was one guy in here and he was just creeping on girls like in an extensive, creepy way.
Oh.
And like I asked him to stop multiple times, and then it literally got to the point where I was like, I'm going to call the cops on
Yeah.
you. Like,
Right.
you are a predator, and I'm not having you in here, like, creeping on everybody. Because what are you going to do out in the parking lot? You
Right.
know, like, no, time for you to go. So,
Crazy.
That list is very extensive too.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's
I mean,
pretty long.
Yeah.
looking at it now, well,
fuck around and find out. We're not kidding around here.
so wait, how do you guys do your bans? Is it like, okay, like first offense is 30 days or something like that, and then if you come back
No,
after
some
that,
people are just immediately like banned
Perma-banned?
permanently. Yeah, so it all depends on the bartender too, because that's the thing. Like, we're so like tight knit, and everybody's just like, "Hey, here's a picture of the guy. I just banned him tonight."
okay.
And it was kind of funny. I had a couple regulars that they're kind of handfuls when they come in, but I know how to handle them. So I'm just like, "Oh no, you just gotta like stop them before they get crazy." But if you don't know them, and also as a bartender, you shouldn't have to babysit people.
right?
Yeah.
But I always just kind of give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say too. I just had to kick out somebody at the bar, and they were like falling asleep on the bar. I mean, they came in already trashed, and I was like, okay, whatever. I got him like a beer and a shot. That was all I did, and I was like kind of keeping my eye on him. But then he was like, with the shot, he had the shot like in front of him. He didn't take it right away. He was like drinking the beer, and then he kind of started like nodding his head like that. And then he like put his hand down and just put 2 fingers directly into the shot. And I was like, I saw it happen. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, don't, like, you still got to drink that if you're going to drink that.
Personally, I would have let him spill it. And
Yeah.
Then, like, wake
I mean-
up to his mess he made, because that's like more embarrassing.
Yeah.
And, like, shameful for him.
I think he ended up giving it to somebody or something like that.
After his fingers were in it.
Yeah. And then afterwards, he like started dozing off, and then I like noticed it, and like nobody else really noticed it because it kind of looked like he was like on his phone, just the way he was like falling asleep like this or whatever. And so I like noticed it. I like grabbed his beer. I was like, "Hey man, can't sleep at the bar. Like, you gotta finish your beer and get out," basically. And then he was like, okay, no worries. And then he was up and totally fine, like normal. I mean, still very trashed, but like was like gonna finish his beer and leave. And then the dude falls asleep again at the bar. And I'm like, dude, get out. Like, how are you getting home? Like,
Also, go home.
yeah. I was like, and so immediately he's like, well, I don't know. My ride left. And I was like, fuck, okay, like, where do you live? I'll buy you an Uber right now. Like,
I always am like, give me your phone and open your Uber app. Like, your house is probably on there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I do not buy people Ubers. Like, I am
I
like,
don't either.
See,
you are a problem on yourself. I was that problem. That's why I'm sober now. It's
Yeah.
like, stop it.
Yeah.
At that point, I was just like, I just need to get this dude out of here. And he was a big dude, so I was like, I'm not gonna try and wrestle him out of here. It's like,
Yeah.
it's more like, okay, let's be nice about this. Let's just get him out home safe or whatever. And then I did this thing. So I was like, okay, like I'll get you an Uber. What's your address? And then I literally like opened up my phone. The Uber app wasn't downloaded. And then I just looked over to our owner's wife and was like, can you buy him an Uber? And so I got out of it basically by like by not paying for
I always
his
worry
Uber.
someone's gonna like puke in the Uber and then I'm gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
also
too many.
I was gonna say I have a 5-star Uber rating, and I am not jeopardizing that for some
No, because when you
drunk
need
asshole.
a ride, you're like, oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
that guy last time.
Yeah.
Now nobody's gonna come get me.
Yeah, exactly. I have maintained a 5-star Uber rating for as long as I've had Uber, and so it really worked out for me.
Oh my god.
because the guy was like, yeah, he just needed a ride home. He lived close, and luckily, like the Uber was only like 2 minutes away when we ordered it, so it was just like boom, boom, he was out.
Even better.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man. I had a customer come in, and since, I'm downtown, there's a lot of people that are homeless and things like that. And unfortunately, some of them use other things to process what's going on in their life and things like that. I had a gentleman come in, and I was trying to pay attention to him, and I thought he was on something. And I felt so bad because I wouldn't like serve him any alcohol because I was trying to figure out. I was like, hey, like I'm just gonna give you water. Like, well, we're gonna sit and hang out for a bit. And then I realized he had like a tick, so he wasn't like on anything.
Like on him or
No,
oh,
like he just like kept like moving,
Tourette's,
like,
yeah, okay.
like things like that because he has an uncontrollable like movement. I was just making sure that it wasn't anything crazy. But then one of my regulars that likes to come in was like, "Hey, that's my friend. He has this." I'm like, "Oh, okay, good." I go because it's not that I didn't want to serve him. It was just that like I'm trying to be mindful because you know we have Narcan downtown, and like if anything were to happen to him, I'd feel so distraught if I like wasn't there. And you know, Tonic is a safe space, and I am a huge advocate for that. But I don't condone doing any drugs in my bathroom or anything, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that made me like be very humbled by that because you know you don't know what people are going through, and you're just trying to be there for that person and make sure that they're safe. So I'm glad that one of my regulars came in and was like, "Hey, like he has this type of condition, he can have a drink." I'm like, "Okay, perfect, thank you." Because like it was not like 5 to 10 minutes until one of my regulars came in, and he said that to me, and I was like, "Oh, thank God," because I felt like he was on something, but he wasn't. So or like how one of our other regulars downtown likes to fall asleep at the bar, but he has narcolepsy, so he can't help it. Yeah, so he falls asleep.
Narcolepsy is such a wild, like, it's not a disease, right? It's like a condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so crazy to me that we could just be like talking like this and
And
just,
Yeah.
just straight, like,
Yeah, so like it's just you just have to be mindful of like
Yeah.
other people, and you obviously like again we're not babysitters for people,
Yeah.
but like that there are conditions that people have, and
Yeah.
they're just trying to have a normal life and come and get a drink. So
Yeah.
just also be mindful of that though too.
Yeah.
But it's hard to
definitely.
tell, you know. It's like, do you ask? Like, do you
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
condition, or are you fucked up?
Yeah. It's so
That's
hard.
a slippery slope.
yeah,
It
you
is
got to
very
get out of
slippery.
here unless you have narcolepsy.
I'm gonna use that for my regular next Sunday when he falls asleep.
If you have narcolepsy, tell me now.
But then if you say it like that though, they're like, "Oh yeah, I do."
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
You have to, yeah. How do you go about like, it would probably be like they fall asleep and then you're like, "Hey, bro, you got to leave." And then they're like, "Oh no, it's okay. I've got narcolepsy."
Yeah, like they gotta tell you
Yeah.
that.
But I don't think they make like a card for it or anything, you know, where it's like you can like give them the card and be like, "I have narcolepsy. I probably am asleep right now."
That would be a hand tattoo idea. Like I have narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
So
awesome.
I wanted to talk about like crazy like stories that you have here, especially with like your oh wow, we cleared this place out. The but like with your band list, but we'll save that for our Patreon, where we can like talk about all of that stuff. And so make sure you are subscribed on our Patreon. And yeah, that is only $5 a month, and it's all of our exclusive uncensored content. And yeah, so that's what I just wanted to plug that really quick.
If you want to listen to any of our juicy stories, as in like the crazy stories that you're gonna tell, Shannon was gonna say all of them on our Patreon. When we don't name drop. Actually, we might. I don't know.
No, yeah, exactly.
To be determined.
There was a question that I had for you. Being a bartender, do you feel like you have to drink in order to fit in with your customers? Like when you were drinking?
When I was drinking, absolutely. Like it's almost like working at Tonic, it was like expected to drink with them. Like otherwise, why would they come in and see you? But now it's just such a like, I don't know, like this is my social life. So like without this, I would probably go crazy and have a harder time being sober, oddly enough. But being around it all the time and it just being so normal that I'm just kind of like, I don't know, more aware. And I feel like I'm more like in tune with like someone comes in, they're all by themselves. Like I'm not just ignoring them or trying to like throw shots down their throat. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, let's chit chat. And somehow I end up getting them talking to their neighbor. And then I'm like, boom,
Yeah.
got it again,
Yeah.
you know, and walk down and now you're talking to someone else. And I don't know.
I remember the last time that I was in here. This is kind of off topic. And whoa, hold on. Oh, just kidding. I thought your White Claws were like miniature. And because I couldn't see past the bar, so
I
that
see
like.
what
Okay. Anyways, the last time I was in here, you were bartending, and I remember I was like already pretty lit up, and I was like, I don't even want to like go out and drink anymore. And I literally like came here, ordered a beer, and then ordered a water, and then I just like you just kept feeding me waters, and you're like, I'm just here to hydrate you, bro. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, thank God, because I did not want to drink anymore. But I was like with some friends that wanted to keep drinking. And then I was just like, so I do really appreciate that, first of all. And then also, okay, I wanted to talk about too, since you're a mother now, I wanted to talk about like the balance of bartending and being a mom, like with you. Like, how did you like do that now and like while you're pregnant as well, like with like taking shifts off, or like, because like as bartenders we don't get, well, I don't, but like as bartenders period, you don't get like maternity leave, you know?
Yeah,
So
I had to save up like the whole, right after I found out, I was like, well, time to save. Because
Yeah.
I took 5 months off. So I had to make sure I had a certain amount. And luckily I had sold my house right before too and moved in with my fiance. So it was really good timing with everything. But also, yeah, just at first, after having her, and like she was 4 months old when I first came back, it was hard because I was tired. Like by 11 p.m. I'm like, and I'll always make the joke like, sorry guys, it's my nap time. Like this is not ideal for me. I'm pushing it. I'm up late. But yeah, for the most part, it's actually been pretty easy because Jake and I like to hang out after she goes to bed anyways. So like we'll stay up till like midnight or 1. And then sometimes she wakes up the second I get home too. And she's like, Mama's home.
Yeah.
Like I want a bottle and cuddles to go back to bed. And it's actually kind of nice. And then Jake doesn't work until like 11 o'clock some days. So then he can get up with her in the morning so I can kind of sleep in. So like right now it's a really smooth rotation, but I'm sure when he gets a job that's like a normal Monday through Friday hours, it's going to be not ideal, but it'll all
so
work.
you guys don't have to do like daycare and stuff like that
No,
right now?
so I'm home with
That's
her.
nice.
Like
Yeah.
I work 2 days a week now, and I'm Friday and Sundays. So busy nights. I think I would go crazy if I worked a slow night and I knew she was home and I was here.
Yeah.
Because then I'd just be like, which Grandpa, we call him Grandpappy, so watches her. And then Jake gets home around like 9 or 10. So it's kind of nice because nobody gets burnt out with the baby, but I only miss like 3 hours of her being awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
she's a mama's girl, which is kind of my fault, but I did it.
That's okay. A little mini me
Yeah.
to carry around and whatnot. I think that's really cool. How is it weird being a mom?
I feel like before I didn't realize how much free time I had and how like lazy or how unorganized. And like now my life has so much chaos, but it's like organized chaos. And I just love it so much. Like this, like it's like I found my purpose now. Like I'm like, okay, well, I'll probably bartend forever, but I'd like to find something else to do from home just so then I can have more income because we always want more, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I actually had that conversation with a regular recently where it was like, because I have my business and I do, you know, like photos and videos and stuff like that. But then also like, that's why I don't think I would ever leave the bartending industry either, because I get so much free time. I can like, if I have to do something, you know, I can get somebody to cover my shifts. Like I only work 4 days out of the week, and then I can have somebody cover one of my shifts and get a Saturday off, you know, or whatever, if I have to do other work and stuff like that. And so I don't know. I was like thinking about that. Basically, I was like, I never really rationalized it that way before, that like, this is probably what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. But like, well, it sounds sad when I say it like that, but like,
This is it.
this is it.
Mic drop.
See you guys. No.
If you're looking for me, you can find me at Bradley's.
Yeah.
I'm about 60, so.
But that's the thing too, is like, I think it, like, I love having like older bartenders like serve me. I don't know why. It's just like, so, because they're always so
They got
nice.
a whole vibe, too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And
They
it's
got
like,
some nice life lessons.
Yeah.
We're just
Real.
weathered in.
They
You
Yeah.
know,
know
we've
how to handle everything.
yeah, we've dealt with so much shit that it
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. We're weathered in.
yeah,
Bring it on.
literally.
I bet I dealt with it before.
Bring it
witty-
on too.
Yeah, the wittiness will just keep getting better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll just, I just want to be like the old man behind the bar. Like, what do you want? You know, like,
Nah, dude, you're getting water.
nah, dude, check out this big ass list of band people we got. You're about to be on it.
I'm gonna throw you on here
Do people ask about that list all the time?
all
Do they,
the
like,
time.
See it?
Well, I've kind of
They're
joked.
like, can I see it?
Yeah, because my coworker, I was like, maybe you shouldn't make it neon colors. Like maybe it should
It
like
is
blend
bright
in.
orange.
You know?
Yeah.
But, like yeah, she does it like bright orange. Sometimes a glitter pen. Like she'll kind of update it every so often. So yeah.
I think it's like a stop sign. Like, you know, when you have to stop, that's like, hey, you see that right there? That's your stopping point.
Yeah.
That is your warning, and you better knock it off.
You see that frightening neon piece of paper behind me? You're about to be on that.
Sometimes we like to pick on regulars and put their name on a Post-it note and smack it on the board.
yeah.
Like you're close, buddy.
You better settle down, man.
I love that. It's kind of like when you were in kindergarten and they'd be like, your teacher would be like, you're going to get a yellow card.
Yeah.
And then you have to like go switch it. Like,
Yeah.
you could probably do that with your regulars.
Yeah.
Like, go
You
change
got
your
a
card
yellow
right
card?
now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Our regulars do be testing us. That's for sure.
Like we keep the light on.
Yeah.
I'm amazed how long the list is. Like you would think
Yeah.
like we downtown would have like a longer list. So like what's bringing in all the crazies?
I almost feel like it's because people come in all the time. Like, and it's like one person will show up and they'll just be friends with everybody. So then we have all these like buddies. So then if you're the outcast, like, and you're fighting over a pool game, like you just get so hyped up and mad. And it's like, listen, dude, like put the pool stick down. Like, nobody is hurting you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. Maybe the bartenders here just don't really put up with it too. They're kind
Yeah.
of like, no, you're done.
Yeah.
Which
like,
you shouldn't.
I told
No,
you.
you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
you that you were gonna be done. No, you didn't listen. So it's maybe it's even like a disrespect thing. Like I had
It
an old
is.
lady one time. Well, an older lady and a guy. They were together, and I was cutting him off, kicking him out. It was like Thanksgiving Day, and they were just going at it. She was mad because she wanted to stay home. He wanted to watch the game, so they were at the bar. And then I was closing him out, and when I did, she's like, "Oh, you just want his money, don't you? You're like a little hooker, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Whoa!" Like I was like, "Ma'am, get the fuck out of here! Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, I am literally your
Thanksgiving.
bartender.
It's Thanksgiving and you're lucky I'm here. I want to
and
spend
they
time
were
with my
just being
family.
a monster, yeah.
And you're like the
so-
nicest person too. Like
Yeah.
the
Well,
fact that they're just
until
gonna
I'm
do
not.
that.
Like, oh my god, I swear. I'll
Yeah,
come
I
around
actually.
this bar.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually seen you mad.
No, it
But you
honestly
used to
does
own
take a lot.
raccoons, so
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's
it's a lot of
frightening.
eye contact and like being very stern.
Yeah.
Like I am not kidding.
Yeah. Well,
The- well, sorry, go ahead. No,
it's
go ahead.
just people push it, and again, like I've said this 100 times, but they don't think they're going to be confronted.
Yeah.
Like so.
Well,
And when
that's
you
another
do-
thing. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
The bar here, like we don't have security. We don't have anybody but us. So like at the end of the night, when I'm trying to get people outside, and all you want to do is chit chat because you're a regular, whatever, you know, it's like, hey guys, like. After 2 is my time. I understand that you don't have drinks in your hand. You think you can just stand in here and chit chat, but like, I want to turn the music up. I want to focus. I want to clean. I want to get the fuck out of here. Like, go.
Yeah,
But-
honestly, as soon as it hits like 150, 155,
Yeah.
I'm not nice anymore.
No.
I turn it off. I'm like, okay, now it's like my time.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have had your time, and now I need to do my job. Leave. Like, now it's disrespectful and annoying.
Yeah.
It's like I've been yelling since 1:30, really. So
Yeah.
I don't know why you're so surprised now that
Right.
you
Yeah.
have to leave.
Yeah. Do you guys have bar time here?
Yes. I will say a lot of nights if I have like a smaller group, I kind of push it to like real time too. But
Wait, what's bar
Yeah,
time?
what do you mean?
So, like-
They're 15 minutes ahead of time.
yeah.
So they call it bar time. So then it like gets people going because if you have a clock in your place, another place in Waukee does this, but they call it bar time. They're 15 minutes ahead of the clock, so that gets people like going out the door because it takes forever for people to leave anyways.
Yeah.
But when people look at their phone, they're like, oh, it's this time, and then they go, I know what time it is, but this is bar time because it takes forever for you guys to skedaddle on out. of
I've
here.
never heard of this
Well, and
before.
a lot of the time I'll turn on the lights. Like if it's packed in here, like 1:15, so like 1:30 bar time, just to say like, get an Uber now because I don't want to hear that whole like it's cold outside
Yeah.
and my Uber is 20 minutes away. Did you just order it? Like
Right.
why are you waiting so
Yep.
long? And why do you have to be out till 2 a.m.? Like
Yep.
order it at 1. That way you're home. You know, it's like there's only so many Ubers. Like they're doing you a favor. Don't get mad at them. Like just
Yeah, I had to do that last week when it was super cold out. Some guy was like, "Well, my Uber's not going to be here for another 20 minutes. Can I sit in your bar?"
That's not my fault.
No.
Yeah, no.
And so when it was really cold outside, I would turn on the lights and tell people at 1:00, "Hey, you need to get your Uber rides right now because you're not staying in my bar."
Yeah.
And then I do it again at 1:15, and then I do it again at 1:30, and then they would all like be out by like 1:45, but they would all have their Ubers or find their rides and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, is that my responsibility to make sure that you get your ride at 1:00? No, but I'm being nice because I don't want to sit out in the cold. I don't want you to sit out in the cold, and I don't have to tell you.
Hopefully it
that
helps
you can't stay in
you
my bar.
later too.
Yeah, yeah. So
That is the worst.
so, yeah, during the wintertime, it's definitely really hard. It's a lot harder to get people to leave because they need to get a ride and they choose not to. But everyone has FOMO when they're at the bar. They want to
Yeah.
have fun. They want to stay and hang out and talk. But I don't know. Like, what do you do during the wintertime for people? Since you say you kick people out at 1:50 and you're not being nice at that point.
People still linger like 2 minutes before 2, but we like tell them, I'm like, I'm sorry it's cold outside, but you cannot wait in here. Like,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
get in trouble. You're not allowed to be in here. You have to get out.
My
I'm sorry.
bar will lose its liquor license. I will get fired as a bartender.
Yeah.
I'm like throwing out all these
Just make it
excuses.
super dramatic.
Yeah, like
I mean, I'm just like
I'll
whining
call
about
the
it. I'm like,
cops.
you guys are literally gonna get me in trouble if you don't get out of the bar. Like,
Yeah. Well, and we're not wrong for
No.
saying that because literally 2 is the cutoff. And if cops come driving by and I have, let's say, 15 people still in my bar at 2:15, we're fucked. We're screwed.
Yeah.
Like, get out. But I don't know. It's always so hard to get people out of the bar. I don't know what it is. It's easy to get them in, but it's really hard to get them out.
Yeah.
So
See, I have yet to deal with that too. I've had like at
You
the
will.
at the restaurant. See, and that's what I'm kind of nervous about. I'm not gonna lie because so at the restaurant, which is actually just right over here. I don't think we really explained that, but
we
like,
need to talk about the night and day difference of that.
yeah, okay, yeah, we can. Do you want to do that on the Patreon?
Yeah.
Okay, well, subscribe to Patreons for $5 because it's only $5 a month, and you can see what we're about to talk about. But anyways, so I am nervous about that, like having to kick people out because I've literally not had to do that yet, and it's just been like 12 o'clock comes around, something like that, and then just everybody's gone, and it's just like me and like the owner or something,
Yeah.
just chilling, hanging out, and then I'm like, can I just like start start getting my stuff done to be done or whatever, and then that's like how it's gone every time. Like I have not had to kick I had to kick out that one yet, but I haven't
Yeah.
had to like kick anybody out at bar close yet. But I have a feeling that like 1:30 is gonna come around in the morning or at some point, especially in the summer, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm over this. Like I need to get people out, and I just don't know how I'm gonna do it, to be honest.
or people will try to like, they want to be helpful. They're
Right.
Like, what can I do to help you like clean up and
Yeah.
close? And I'm like, get out.
You can help me by leaving. Yeah.
You're in the way and you're slowing me down. And also, I'm not going to give you another shot for helping me.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Like, I know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Jeremiah has to tell people that. He goes, she does not want anyone
fine.
in this bar. She won't even let me help her. She just wants everyone to get out.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to do to help her. Because people do try to pull the chairs out and things like that. And Jeremiah goes, don't do that. Just go, just leave. She's
Well,
going to.
some people just never stop talking.
Right.
You're like, hey, I don't care anymore. Like I really, whatever you're thinking that I want to hear. Yeah, exactly. But see, that's also the thing with like how you said, like they just quit coming in around a certain
Yeah.
time. Like Bradley's stays open till 2
Yeah.
always. So,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm kind of partially thankful for it because then I don't have the, oh, it's dead at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I can get out of here. And then 10 people walk in and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
then
you
they're-
know it's like,
Yeah.
like locked in. You
now I'm
have
like,
to.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just
Think
gonna
about it.
wait for people. Maybe I'll stock some coolers, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you're there for the long haul.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I'll let you guys. I'll give you guys an update on how that works out for me because, like I said, it's night and day difference at the bar. So like, if I'm having to kick people out, it's like these people have been here eating food. You know, they're not like drunk or anything. They're just like hanging out, and it's like, all right, guys, time to fucking go. There was one time though, what I did, they were like, I was like, everybody get out, like yelling that or whatever. It was just a couple, and it was like probably their first date or something like that. They just completely ignoring me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not staying here. I was like not in a good mood. And I like cranked up the volume of the like PA system like so loud that it was like painful. And then I just saw them sitting at the bar like this, like covering their ears. And I was like, get out.
Oh my God.
Like,
See, I do the opposite. I cut the music and it's just so awkwardly silent that
Yeah.
people like don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, I guess it's time to go. Because apparently drunk people can't fucking hear you
Yeah.
when you are yelling
Oh my
last
God,
call
I know, I'm
4
like,
different times.
Pay attention to me.
Yeah.
It's like the lights come on. They're like, what? I'm like, I've been telling you for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I will say this has happened to me more recently where like I'm working late and then I'll go to a bar or whatever for like one drink afterwards. And then it's like the next thing I know, it's like the lights are getting turned on.
Yeah.
It's like I've only had one drink and I was like, oh God, I didn't even realize I was
Yeah.
going to be here this late. But yeah, that's neither here nor there, I guess. Okay, so let's get into our douche of the week. So basically, this is a segment that we do at the very end of the podcast. It can be a bad patron. It can be, just something that's annoying behind the bar. It can be a pet peeve. It doesn't have to be an actual like douchebag. But so I'll start my douche of the week. This was a man, first of all. So
Usually.
this is the douchebag. This guy, so I had my tip bucket or whatever. It was like towards the end of the night. Dude ordered like a shot or something like that and then left and then comes back and orders another shot. And one of my customers earlier in the night had tipped me with like the what are they called? The
Tickets?
the tickets.
tickets.
Yeah, tipped me and like gave me like 20 tickets to another bar. And I was like, cool, awesome. Like I'm definitely gonna keep those. Dude, like if this is my tip bucket, dude like is like looking into the tip bucket and starts like putting his hand in it. And I was like, I immediately walk over to him, like, what are you doing? And he was like, who put tickets in here? And I was like, one of my customers. And he pulls out the tickets and starts putting them in his pocket. And I was like, what are you doing? Those are my tips. What, like, you can't just do that. First of all, you shouldn't even be touching my tip bucket. And second of all, like, what are you doing? And the dude was like, well, do you even go there? And I was like, yes, that's why he gave me the tickets. Put them back.
What the fuck?
And then literally I was like, and I know this guy too. And like, he comes into the bar. I'll tell you later who he is, but
Cool. I want to know.
I already feel like I know who it is, and I also have a story about him, so
Yeah.
I really want to know.
and
who
we'll
it is.
save that for Patreon. Only $5 a month. But yeah, I was like, I had never experienced anything like that before, and I knew this guy, so I was like, I don't trust him necessarily, but I was like, we're acquaintances, like we know of each other, and we've known each other for a couple years now. So I was like, who do you think you are, dude? Like, you do not get to just like, who does that? Who does that? So that's my douche of the week is don't touch bartenders' tip buckets
I always
ever unless you're
wondered
putting
about
money
that.
in it.
Like with the bucket being on the bar. Was this?
It was on the bar, yeah.
Okay, so like your guys' tip bucket is on the bar. Our tip buckets are back behind me. Like there's no way I would ever
Yeah.
leave a tip bucket up on the bar.
See,
No,
and I
same.
was thinking about that too. I
Could
was
you put
like,
it behind the computer.
I could, yeah. And I was, because when I originally was like setting up the bar, like when I got there for my shift, I was like, I literally like moved it like 4 times because I was like, okay, where am I going to be? Like, should I put it over here so people put money in it? Or should I put it like right in front of me so I can watch it?
I have noticed, one, if the tip bucket is clear and people see money in it, they're more likely to put money in it. They're like, oh, that's a tip bucket. I have some cash on me. And they throw money
Like the
in.
ones that you made? Those ones are cool.
Fuck, what was the other thing?
For the tip buckets?
It's a long bar, so if I have 2 tip buckets, like I make more cash tips if I have 2 tip buckets on each side of the bar rather than just one like in front of my register.
But do you get like nervous ever that people are just going to like take money out of it? Like, especially if you have them like spread across the bar?
Not really, because I feel like the bar is like kind of high enough where I feel like I would see them or someone would see them at least and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I guess I've never thought about it enough. Maybe people are stealing money from me.
Well, I mean, I hope not.
I hope not too, but like that would, I don't know, like where my tip bucket would be over by the computer, I literally grab it and sometimes I stick it all the way down because people like to come when they're playing pool. They'll come up close to me. So, and that tip bucket's like an arm's reach. So I just move it down when I know people are going to be down there, and I'm not going to be down there for that long. So the further away it is from people, I'm totally okay with that.
Do you think you would make more tips though if you had it on the bar?
No.
Really?
Wanna
You
know
think
why?
people would steal it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Only because like I get stuck at one end of the bar and I have
yeah.
3 computers and I have a long bar. You guys have
Yeah.
a very short, small
But-
bar, and you're
Yeah.
not going too far.
Right.
Don't you think it would be easier for people to steal the cash that they just leave on the bar rather than if people put it in a bucket?
I'm
No.
so quick to like grab it
Yeah,
off
I'm quick
the
to
bar
grab it.
that I'm
Same.
like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
I love to be like
immediately.
personable, like, thank you.
Yeah.
Here's your change, and then
Run
you just
away.
sit there and watch them until they give you your tip, and then
Or
you're
I'm
like,
like, do you want
thanks.
change? Like, no, $100 bill, no change.
Yeah. No, I grab it like once I see it, and 9 times out of 10 people make sure that they hand it to me. They're like, hey, I have cash for you, and then they'll walk by and they'll hand it to me, and then I'll stick it in my bucket. But yeah, no, I that has to be moved. I suggest to move your bucket and see, or like have like a fake tip bucket and have just it sitting there on the bar, and then take your tips out of it and then put it in a different bucket, so like no one has it, or like leave $1 in there. Like I would super glue $1 in there.
Or
Like-
I even think of like having like an open box that has like a lid on it that you can like lock close, that you just drop cash
Yeah.
in, like fold it up and drop it.
Right.
That way it can't be opened or grabbed
Yeah,
into.
that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they can see it. Write a big old sign on it, being like,
Tips.
Yeah.
Tips and suggestions.
Yeah, I wonder how many suggestions you guys would get in that box if you guys did do something
little
like that.
post-it notes for people to write on.
Oh man,
Uh,
you should smile more.
Oh God.
yeah, literally.
When
Toss
people
it.
say that, like
Get
my
out.
smile gets toxic, you know, like no, it's not.
What's
good.
your most toxic smile? Do it to the camera.
Oh my god.
No, literally, like even when it's like super mad crazy in here, like I will be smiling and people are like, "How are you so happy?" I'm like, "When I lose this, we're all screwed." You know, like just
Yeah.
stay positive.
Yeah, don't say anything stupid.
I hate when people catch the like 2 seconds that I'm not smiling. I'm literally resting my face because
Yeah.
I've been smiling, and
Like-
they're like, "Are you bored?" I'm like, "I've been smiling this whole
You're
time."
like, oh my God, actually, I was thinking about how annoying you are.
Oh my gosh, what's your douche of the week?
I had these like 4 very annoying boys come in. They're like from out of town and had to like make it known they're from out of town. We're like, we're from out of town. I could just tell they were fucked up, and I was like, you guys need to go back to your hotel then. But they were just really trying to stay after bar close and order shots, and I was like, I am not pouring you guys any more shots. They're like, I'll give you this 20 right now, and I'm like, honestly, not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I am worried about your safety. Get out.
Yeah. Was that at like bar close too
Yeah.
then? I will say, like, when I go out of town and I like hang out at a bar, I definitely want to like be on the good side of the bartender, and especially like make that connection where it's like, hey, I am from out of town. This place is really cool. But I'm gonna like let them know.
Yeah. No, they were definitely acting like it was like their first time drinking ever.
Oh,
and
God.
like trying to go like talk to any girl that was at the bar and trying to buy shots for all the girls. And I'm like, nope, they're fucked up too. And then they're
Yeah.
like trying to invite them to go back to their hotel. And I'm like, this girl's like half asleep on my bar. I'm like, do not get in a car with them. You
Yeah.
are not getting in a car with them.
Yeah. That's another thing too,
That's
is
pretty
like,
annoying.
yeah, that just to have like the safety in mind for your customers and stuff like that.
Definitely.
What's your douche of the week, Shannon?
There's this older guy that he'll come in and like I know what he drinks and he always has just one Coors Light Tall Boy. And every time that I'm like, Coors Light Tall Boy, and I'll have it for him, he's like, oh my God, you remember every single time.
What a
and I'm
douche.
Like, I see you all the
Just
time,
kidding,
buddy.
just
Like,
kidding.
here's your Coors Light. And then he goes to like give you money and he'll like play.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, just give me the fucking $1. Like, give me your $5, man. Like,
Like,
the tall
that's
boys are on
hilarious.
special. They're $3.50. He gives me a $5. He wants his quarters back. So it's a whole process every single time. And literally, I don't know if it's because I'm a mom now, so I'm very like, no, you're not gonna act like that. But like, I'm like, I just walk away and I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna just put it down. I'm not playing your game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that dollar that bad.
Nope.
Like, and I don't have to grab it from you either. Like, I don't know why it's such a like game. I just like
I don't know. Like, do you think men who do stuff like that, they think they're like flirting and
I
funny?
think so. And
I think they really think it's like funny and cute. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're fucking annoying.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Do you think he doesn't like have anyone at home and that you're just
I
his
know.
entertainment?
Maybe
Better
honestly.
than the TV.
And like some nights I'm so easygoing and I'm just kind of like, like we're friends tonight. And then other nights I'm like, oh, here he is. You know, like
Give me that
there's
dollar.
always, and I'm always like, I'll walk away first. Like, and he just knows better now. Like he
Yeah.
just like, he's like, she is not gonna play my game with me. So
Yeah.
she yelled at me.
I'm in trouble. I'm about to be on the banned list.
I'll put you on the naughty list.
I think my douche of the week is technology.
Oh yeah.
We rely on it very much, and especially when like my music gets turned off because my Wi-Fi is down, or like my computers get, all wonky. I had that happen to me on Monday. Every Monday at another bar, they have buy one get one martinis, and then everyone comes over right at 10:30. It's like clockwork, and I get busy. Love it, wonderful. But when my computers don't work and when the music isn't working, I get constantly asked, "Why aren't you playing any music? Why isn't there any music?" Because the internet's not working. I had to say that to about 15 people that night, and I was like, "Oh, guys, just shut the fuck up." At this point, like, it's not like, I promise I don't want to listen to you breathe too.
Yeah.
Like,
So does that mean your credit card machines don't work either?
yeah, but I could still take payments, but you have to work. I learned this the hard way. You have to only work on one computer because it saves all the
Yeah,
data. I didn't know
on
that
one,
you
yeah.
couldn't go on the other ones.
For
so
Toast,
like,
yeah.
Yep. So like all the processing, if I leave it on one, it'll go through. And I thought I would have lost like $37 in tips, but I didn't because me and my boss figured it out. But that was definitely a learning experience. It just sucks because as a bartender there, I am not only the bartender, but I am the manager. Sometimes I'm the security, everything else in between. So it'd be nice if I had someone there that could just go and try to fix that and figure that out for me while I would just bartend. But I'm doing multiple things at once. And then people are asking me for things. People are being rude because I'm trying to get the music on, make people happy. So yeah, technology can fucking suck it because
Yeah.
that shit was not fun because people looked at me and were like, "Oh yeah, you're not playing music. We're gonna go to a different bar." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking great." Like,
You're like, come back in 20.
yeah, yeah.
Promise it'll be better.
One of my coworkers did have a really good point. She said, "Why didn't you just play music on your phone and then put the microphone up to it?"
Oh.
And I was like, "God, that's brilliant. I'm gonna
Say
use
put it
that
in your
next
tip
time."
bucket, so
Yeah.
it'll,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
to
and you
back.
can just put it in there, but I wouldn't know how it would sound until I tested it out. So I'm
Right.
actually gonna go do that
Next
Thursday and figure that out. But I mean, that's a really good idea. But again, we rely on Wi-Fi, the internet, and technology so much to the
everything.
point that like it didn't ruin my business or like me making any money. It just, people don't connect like how we used to. People don't want to talk to people. People want to listen to music and drink and then talk to their friends. Like when it's quiet, people don't like to have a conversation with everyone else around them. Like they look at me like, "What do we do? Do we still talk? Do we buy more drinks?
It's very
Do I need to talk to
interesting.
the person next to you?" And I wish, and people probably wouldn't agree on doing this, but if we had a night where we just had no phones, like
Yeah,
everyone
totally
had to
disconnected.
turn in like an event where everyone turns in their phone. If you're okay with that, but like if you aren't okay with it, obviously don't go to it. But so you can like meet people
Yeah.
because everyone is very cool and different and interesting, and just hang out in a bar and just talk. Because people think that people are weird when they just randomly walk up to them and say hi, and it's like they're not weird. They're just
Yeah.
trying to have an actual human
Conversation, yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
other
Get
than
this
on your
guy
phone.
away from me.
Yeah, see? Yeah, so it could be, so I think if we all are on that mindset, I think it wouldn't be weird. And I do miss that.
I do feel like,
Definitely.
because we kind of talked about this at, on one of our previous episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but like how, like, yeah, it is like there is like a level of like meeting new people that like a lot of people don't even want to think about. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if we didn't know each other and we were sitting at the bar and I was just like, "What's going on?" You'd be
Yeah.
like, "Don't fucking talk to me."
Yeah,
You
you're
know, like,
Why? Yeah, I don't.
don't
even know.
hit on me. I'm like, I'm just
I just want to say
asking
hi. I
what's
just want to
up.
make a new
I just
friend.
wanna-
Like, I just want to say hi to you. I'm just trying to be nice. But again, when you're bartending, that's also really cool though too, because you make new friends because people want
Yeah.
to talk to you. But like if I'm outside of the bar, no one wants to talk to me.
I don't even want to talk to anybody if I'm on the outside of the bar. I'm like everything stays in here. Like,
Yeah.
I am people watching at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
I will say too, like, because like at the restaurant that I work at is close to here, so we would come here after our shift, and I will say like a lot of the times that I'd come here would be totally packed, and it would just be like, I'd be like, okay, I don't really want to. I just want to have like a beer and go home, and like, you know. Like,
Yeah, people would like to come here and decompress.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but I think it'd just be cool to be just to randomly say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, like, I love your shirt. I love your hair. Like, something just like to make someone's day. Because
Yeah.
I don't think we get a lot of affirmations because everyone's always on their fucking phones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that'd be
100%.
cool to do. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Scrolling can really take your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with that, make sure you're subscribed to our Patreon and our Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube, all of our social media channels.
$5.
Yeah, only $5 for Patreon. All right, and so with that, I think we can wrap up and head into our Patreon episode. And
Do you want to talk about our shirts? We have shirts.
oh yes, we do have merch available. The official PP merch. Poor People.
I was like, what?
It's PPP.
Poor People Podcast, Poor People Podcast Patreon. Yeah, there's a lot of P's. So our PP merch is available.
I don't know if we're gonna stick to that one.
We'll allow it today.
we do like PP facts and like
PP pod.
PP tip of the day. Okay. All right. Well, no. So thank you again, Shannon, for
Thank you.
doing this with us, letting us come into Bradley's and take up all your space and time. And Bradley's is open right now. So
Yeah.
like there are people here just like hanging out,
Definitely,
chilling.
always
and, like,
11 to 2 every single day.
Every single
Even
day.
holidays, it does not matter. Do not call and ask. We're always here.
always here. Do you want to plug anything? Do you guys have like a social media or anything that you
I think so. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. But
We'll put it
yeah,
in.
we have daily specials and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
Awesome.
3 happy hours. That one's big.
Nice.
So.
You have
Yeah.
3 happy hours.
3 happy hours. So like an early one, which I think it's like noon to 2 or 11 to 1 or something. Never here for that shift. And then 4 to 7. And then we have a late night one from 10 to midnight. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Not on the weekends, but during the week we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I will say I was a little surprised that you guys opened at 11. I kind of figured
Yeah.
like 2 or 3. or
Always.
something
And we
like
have
that.
regulars that are waiting at the door if we're not here.
Mhm.
So
That's
they
awesome.
are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you follow Bradley's and
Come see the girls.
Come
and
see the girls
Enjoy the
and-
3 happy hours.
yeah, hang
Yeah,
out. Don't
really.
get on the banned list and
Behave.
behave. Yes, exactly. And then also make sure you follow Poor People Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music and Patreon for only $5 a month. All right.
For richer, for poor. Thanks for watching Poor People.
Yep.
Oh, that was a really good episode.